Stand by. It's almost time to gather and share your weekly recaps. Gather and share your takes. We've always got you covered with comics, TV shows, movies, and all the bullshit. Oh boy, do we love that last one. Ready to gather? It's time for the gathering of the geeks. Without further ado, here are your hosts.
We are Gathering of the Geeks, podcast and a YouTube show built around the things we as geeks all love. Hashtag we gather on Sundays. Thank you for checking out the one where Wally can't outrun it. I'm one of your hosts, Emmet, and I'm joined by the Ted Lasso to my coach Beard, Chris Evans. Chris, how's it going tonight?
It's going. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Gathering of the Geeks, it's available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. All you have to do is search for Gathering of the Geeks, and you will find us right there. What's up, Cookie? What's up, Eric? How you guys doing on this fine Sunday evening? Chris, I don't know what a pink drink from Starbucks is. Explain that to me.
What? Why? What, you don't know?
I don't know what it is.
Okay. Well, I actually don't know exactly what it is either. It's it's coconut milk, and then they have this mixture of strawberries and other things that make a juice. They mix it up and they throw strawberries into it. It's pretty good. It's my go-to usually.
Coconut milk, eh?
Yeah, and normally I don't like coconut milk at all. But when it's mixed in something, I can drink. Kind of like, I don't like whiskey, but I'll drink it when it's mixed with something.
I get you.
Like most people, you mix things, it tastes better.
Yeah, and the pink is is it what kind of strawberries? Like a strawberry puree, or like
No,
milk?
they're like they're probably really cheap, and they're sliced.
Not the greatest quality.
Probably not. We're not going like organic farms here. I would imagine they're like they fell off a truck, tumbled a little bit, and then Starbucks picks them up. That's my guess.
That's fair.
Actually, I think they're frozen, to be exact.
Yeah, that would make sense to get a little bit of the cold in your drink. What's up, Phil? How you guys doing? Phil, Cookie, Eric, what's your Starbucks drink of choice? You guys have cake pops at your Starbucks?
Yeah,
okay, so yeah. What kind of flavors do you guys have down there? Like birthday cake? Is that a big one down there?
I think so. Zoe just says, "Get me one," and I just whatever she says, and then I forget about it.
Yes, I think birthday cake is one popular.
Like she'll tell me, I'll get it, and then I immediately forget whatever flavor it was. I know there's birthday cake. I want to say chocolate is a flavor.
Sure.
Target stores have their own cake pops because they got the Target dog on them.
Oh, it's like a thing with Starbucks inside Targets? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's very common. A lot. I don't know if every Target has a Starbucks, but most do.
There you go.
Aaron, what is a Starbucks? It's a watering hole, but a fancy one. Cookie says, venti, cinnamon, dolce latte, no whip. That sounds delicious, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't.
I've never had that. I don't really do the coffees.
Right.
But that does sound good. Phil does not like Starbucks. Are you a Dunkin' Donuts guy then, Phil? Eric says white chocolate mocha if it's not fall or Christmas. Isn't that just a hot chocolate though? I really don't know. For me, when I go to Starbucks, I'm trying like the fruity shit. So like a pink drink, or they have this new thing called a midnight drink, which is I already forgot, but it's like a pink drink basically, but different kind of fruit. I do like the London fog tea.
Oh yes.
And a few months ago, I was on an iced coffee kick. I was going to different places. I think Cookie was also on this journey with me. We were trying different coffees. Dunkin' Donuts won, by the way. I think it's for like regular iced coffee.
I was gonna say Dunkin' Donuts doesn't have the bullshit, right? Like Starbucks is the bullshit, and Dunkin' Donuts is more plain.
No,
Like
they got
Tim
bullshit.
Hortons, Tim Hortons is the Dunkin' Donuts of Canada, and like there's not as much bullshit as there is of the Starbucks with the Dolce lattes and your pink drinks and all
No,
that
yeah,
jazz.
Dunkin' has that. They even have like they have drinks with like little flavor balls, I think.
Flavor balls.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called. I'm sure there's a proper title, but like the little flavor balls. If I'm going to partake in a coffee conglomerate, then it's Dunkin'.
Conglomerate. What are you, a politician, Phil?
Eric is mostly a Dunkin' guy. Oldie but
Mhm.
goodie, regular coffee, one cream. I'm also a coffee snob. I live for local coffee shops. I would
Mm,
like to try one because I don't really like the taste of coffee unless it's, again, mixed with a bunch of shit. So that
mm,
usually works for me. But I want to try something different, I guess. And also, like local coffee shops have a certain environment that I just kind of like.
sure.
Like I want to be part of that. I want to be part of the cool kids.
Yeah, that's where all the hipsters hang out, Chris. Are you
I
a
want to be
hipster?
a hipster. I
Yeah.
could do that.
I could do it.
I could do
I
it.
want to be a hipster.
Yeah, I can do it. I'm gonna get one of those kangaroo hats. You know the cabbies wear.
Yeah.
Does that count? I think that counts.
Yeah,
That's how
my
I
brother,
transition to a
my
hipster.
brother wears those. He's one of those hipster coffee shop guys.
We're gonna be the same. Cookie says Dunkin' is superior. Yeah, I think when it comes to regular coffee, I do like the Dunkin' stuff better than Starbucks.
Right.
I think that's the thing for me. It's all about being cool. It is. It's about being cool and enjoying a beverage. Cook says, I love local coffee, but in the morning I need the order ahead option. I've just started using that. Not for coffee though, but for the fruity stuff. And it's really nice. It's ready when you get there. It's awesome.
Yeah, my wife does that all the time. Just orders ahead, and then you just walk up to the desk, and there's like a pickup location, and you just grab it and you go, just ignoring the line.
I just go through the drive-through. Kangaroo hat. I'm offended.
Aaron,
I think they're called Kanga hats. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Kangaroo hat. I don't know. It doesn't have ears on it, but you might
Aaron,
be a good boxer if you wear one.
There's got to be Starbucks in Australia, Aaron. Don't act like there's no Starbucks in Australia.
Eric says Tim Hortons and hockey, two great Canadian classics. Well, we actually have Tim Hortons now, so I guess we're gonna.
Do you have one in Texas, close to you?
I think it's in Texas, but that's not close to me yet. They're building one, I believe.
Right.
So soon I can try the Timbits and whatnot.
That's right.
I think a Timbit is the same thing as a Dunkin' Munchkin.
It's just a small. They call it. What do you call it? A donut hole.
Yeah, but there's no hole. So why do they call it a donut? I never understood that.
That's the.
Why did you just call it a donut ball?
Yeah, a donut ball. Yeah, donut hole. Timbit. That's why. I guess that's why we call them Timbits, because there's no such thing as a donut.
What are you on about? I don't know.
Aaron, that's like if there's Gathering of the Geeks merch, that'll be on the back of it. What?
I think a lot of people imagine that we have very strict. This is what we talk about. We don't.
Yeah.
We have kangaroos here. We don't wear them on our head. I mean, maybe you're missing out, Aaron. I don't know. Those baby ones are pretty cute. I don't know about the big ones. I think they'll box you. Eric says Dallas also has a good hockey team. Coincidence? We do have a good hockey team. Go Stars. Cookie says we finally got a Tim Hortons. I got to try it. I thought there was one in Times Square. I remember seeing it, but maybe they closed it. I don't know.
I thought that was like one of the first ones that kind of there ever was in New York. I remember when I was in high school, we went to it for a trip to New York, and there was one there at that time.
I don't know. I just know we're finally starting to get them down here in Texas.
Yeah, don't get too excited. I'll tell you that much.
I'm not
too excited for Tim Hortons.
I was really excited for Dutch Brothers when that came.
Ooh, what's that?
It's just another like Starbucks kind of place, but they have more like not some. They have coffee, of course, but they also have like really interesting drinks. I like what's called Sweater Weather. I don't remember what it is, but it's delicious. It's got a lot of dairy, which I can't always do.
Sounds cozy.
It is cozy. It's not just for the winter though, because it's cold. It's served cold, which doesn't make much sense. Sweater weather, but here's a cold drink.
Yeah,
I avoid Times Square. I like that. Well, it's touristy, so I like Times Square.
Yeah, that's right. She lives in New York.
Yeah, there's areas of Dallas I don't want to go to either.
Yeah, that's right.
I hate the State Fair.
Yeah.
There's the one about coffee. The one about coffee and other franchises.
Yeah, that's right. Any of your coffee shops.
Yeah. And what do you got? Australians are coffee snobs. Starbucks is only in Sydney and Melbourne. We have a lot of small coffee houses.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Snobby Australians. Interesting.
I guess they'd hate to hear I drink McDonald's coffee for $1 every day.
That's right.
It's good for me.
All right, Chris, what'd you get up to over the last little while? What'd you read? What'd you watch? We had another 2 weeks off, so what'd you get up to?
Some stuff.
Yeah, stuff.
Other franchises. I've been reading a lot of random Marvel stuff. I decided to read Tomb of Dracula the other night because I realized I've never actually read Blade's introduction in that book. I've seen it, panels of it over the years, but I never really sat down to read it. So I did it, and it is a wacky tale. You could tell this was made in the 70s. There's no denying it. Dracula is on a yacht of yuppies. And in one panel, or one group of panels, he's convincing them he's not a vampire, and he's just a dude.
Mm-hmm.
And, society has made this story about him. And then the next panel, he wants to kill everybody as Dracula the vampire.
Sure.
It's amazing. And Blade is not Wesley Snipes. Not Wesley Snipes.
I figured.
I knew that. I've seen what he looks like, seen the panels of him speaking, but I didn't really grasp it till reading it. And the dialogue, we've talked before, how much I love old comic dialogue.
Yeah.
I posted these panels on Twitter, but I'm going to read them again because it's fun. If I didn't delete them, I might have deleted them. Yeah, so in Blade's introduction, this is how he introduces himself. They call me Blade. Blade the vampire killer. That's really how it is. Not too silly. But then there's this other thing. Dracula's talking to this lady in there. And he says, Dracula does not lie. You are a most intelligent girl. The lady replies, gosh, no one ever said that to me before. It's real. It's amazing.
Gosh. Golly gosh.
She also says gosh in a lot of different panels. Oh, actually, in the following one, gosh, how can I refuse such a gentleman?
It's funny you mentioned that it's not Wesley Snipes, because I think every Blade from forever now is going to be basically Wesley Snipes type of Blade. There's no going back.
Well,
now.
I think he set the standard, really, because before that, Blade was not really he didn't really have an identity, I think. Not like a specific identity. It was just whatever the writer felt like doing, which is always fun, but it's good to have a central version of him. I think the Wesley Snipes one has become that. So that was fun, though. That was a fun read. I read that. I read some random X-Men stuff that I can't even remember, which speaks of the quality. Yeah. Absolute Batman #6 was out. That was a blast. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
The pacing of the story, because this was the end of the first arc. The pacing of the story was a little interesting, I think. I think you'll agree with that. It was slow at times, and I feel like we didn't need a whole 6 issues to get where we got. But at the same time, I really enjoyed the ride, so I'm not going to complain about it.
I agree with you, but I keep thinking about that. The one issue that we really didn't like was the
3.
the origin story.
Oh, well, that was 4, yeah.
Yeah, I could have done completely without that story. And I agree with you about the pacing of this issue, and then until he sticks his bat ears into Black Mask's head, face, I felt like that was a major ramping up of the pacing of the story in #6.
It went fast. Once, that 6 goes by quickly. But I think as a whole, I love the arc. I really love Absolute Batman. I think it does a lot of cool stuff. It's a great take, which nobody arrest me for that one.
Oh my God. Somebody write that down, timestamp it.
No, please don't. I had enough of that.
Yeah. You haven't got over that yet, huh?
No, I probably won't.
You're
Pro-
damaged.
No, I feel like that scene in Ted Lasso, I think it's the first episode, when he spits the water all over because they kept asking him questions and he couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. But anyway, um, yeah, I'm really enjoying Absolute Batman. I read the latest Batgirl, which was the end of that arc as well, and
Batgirl.
that was
Oh.
oh yeah, Batgirl's been great.
Oh.
So this is another interesting one with the
Batgirl.
pacing.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is not because nothing really happens issue to issue, so you
Mhm.
have to almost read it collected to get all of it. But it's a really good time. I thought that was really well. It was really well written. The action is great in it. I would read more of this writer's version of Batgirl. I think this is ongoing, so that works for me.
Mhm.
I did not get to Two-Face #4 yet. I actually just remembered as we're speaking.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I still got to get to. I'll probably get to it when the next one's on. Just read them back to back.
Yep.
I can't remember. I don't think I read anything else, much else. I wanted to read some indie stuff, but nothing was like a #1. It was all series that are well into them, so I didn't want to jump
Mhm.
onto anything.
Mhm.
And I'm really waiting for that vampire book I showed you, which I think is until June now.
Oh, the one from
Epitaphs.
Epitaphs. Yeah, from Oni
Yeah.
Press. Yeah.
Yeah, that I'm very excited for.
Mhm.
But I don't think that's till June. So yeah, I didn't read anything other than DC and Marvel as of late. Oh, and I read Ninja Turtles, but I don't really count them as an indie title.
Oh gosh, no. Probably one
No,
of the bigger titles on the stands right now.
Yeah, they are not indie titles. They're good titles, but not indie titles.
Mhm.
I think that's all I read, aside from and Absolute Flash, which I know we're going to talk about.
Yeah, well, that'll be the last one that I
That's
mentioned. If you don't, yeah. Did you read the Absolute Superman #5?
Oh yeah, I did do that.
6?
Yes, I did.
From I think that was
The Krypton one. Yeah.
Yeah, the Krypton one, #5.
Yes, I did read that.
Yeah, basically like the final days of Krypton and Clark getting off the planet and all that kind of stuff. Like, holy crap, what an issue! I love this one.
Yeah, that was a
so much.
fantastic issue. 10 out of 10 on that one.
Yeah. So like, it's got the basically Cal or basically all of Krypton leaving, or all members of Krypton leaving before the planet explodes, but then accidents happen, and how Clark gets away from Jor-El and Lara, and even Kara is there too, and she goes somewhere else. Anyways, just how the story unfolds on Krypton is just, I thought it was just incredible work. I think that was my favorite issue of the series, or of the first 5 issues. Yeah, and I hadn't been as high on Superman as you. I think
I wasn't too high on it.
The last issue you enjoyed a lot more than I did.
Yeah, but
I can't remember.
Superman, like if we're talking like before we just had Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman was at the very back of the pack for me.
Right.
I didn't love it. I thought it was good, but it wasn't anywhere near the other two.
Mm-hmm.
But this issue was fantastic.
Yeah, it really was. You get more, and there wasn't that much. And one of my problems with the Superman book was the back and forth with the present day stuff, and then the Krypton stuff. And they spent a lot of time in Krypton. Like the present day stuff, Clark's not doing too much, just trying to find what's his name, Peacemaker, and then trying to find Brainiac. So not doing too much. So just them sticking in Krypton. I was just loving every minute of that sad state of affairs as the planet's exploding and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I had a great time with that. That was 2 weeks ago. That was when I really wanted to talk about how much I like that one.
A fun theory. That was I didn't think about this until Adam, my friend Adam Leapspan, he threw this out there. What if? Because we've seen the issue where Martha is at the end, and I think that's Laura.
Like the first issue or something.
Yeah.
We see that. Yeah.
What if Jor-El is Brainiac?
That'd be great.
That would be a very interesting twist. We'll see, but that's an interesting twist because we don't actually know the fate of the elves.
Yeah, like they leave the planet and
It's
go
great.
somewhere in a separate ship or whatever.
Which is created by the suit, which is really interesting.
Yes.
That
Yeah, I
issue is
forget
just
what that guy's name is. Yeah, great issue. Really liked it.
Soul, isn't it? Is it called Soul? SOL?
Oh, yeah, I think just SOL or SOLE.
No, I think
Something
it's
like that.
SOL.
Yeah.
Just to give it a little extra flavor, because they want to say SOUL or
That's
SOL.
right.
It's Soul, SOL.
Yeah, SOL, that's right.
It's a little extra peppered flavor in there. Martha.
Why'd you say that name? Yeah, so that was the one from last week that I really wanted to talk about, or 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
Detective Comics 1095 was really good this week. There were some good Superman bits. There was actually a really funny Clark Kent bit where he shows up to Bruce's house and he's at the gate, and Bruce is in the Batcave, and he gets a sensor, like a warning sensor, saying like there's 1,000 tons being pressure being put on the gate. And then Bruce says ignore, and then it says there is now 3,000 pounds being pressured on your gate. And then Bruce says ignore, and then it says 8,000 pounds. And then he's like, "Hey Clark, how are you?" He doesn't even see any visuals of it, but he knows because of the weight and power being put on the gate that it's Clark there. And just like the relationship between the two of them is always a cool one when they're happy and jovial together. I always that's what I like so much about the Tom King Batman run was. Kind of the relationship between Clark and Bruce, and I that kind of carried over to the Tom Taylor Detective Comics one. So I really like that. It really that's a continually good book for me day in and day out. What was the other one that I read? Oh, Batman and Robin Year One. Great stuff there. Again, it's crazy how good the Bat titles are right now. After basically most of 2024 not reading any of the mainline titles or the like long form stories. I can't remember if we even read too many. If you can remember any of the like 3 issues, or if there was any Black Label Batman one. I can't even remember what we read last year. I don't remember if you remember.
There was
Batman
that
last
Dark
year.
Patterns book. There was Bark at the Moon. It's not Bark at the Moon. What is it called?
Yeah, Full Moon. That one's out now.
Full Moon. Okay.
Yeah.
There was those two as the Black Labels, and then we had the Zdarsky stuff, the Ron V stuff. I think I know for me, I just checked out last year on the Batman.
Yeah. I think I agree with you, and just like thinking that I don't remember much of Batman in 2024.
Yeah, I know I don't.
Yeah.
I remember certain like was last year the issue from Zdarsky where he falls from space.
Yep.
Okay, I remember that. That was cool.
Yeah, that seems like a big one to stand out too.
Yeah, that was interesting because we hadn't seen him really do that before.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not like I don't really care about the logistics of it. It just looked neat. It's a comic book.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care.
Yeah. So Batman and Robin Year One, a lot of fun with this one. And then I read New Gods number 4, which is great again. From Ron V. Really, really picking up with the action and the war between the old and new gods. Just a great 4 issues all around for that one. And then Absolute Flash number 1. So it took a while for there to be new Absolute books since the release of the first 3, and this is our first kind of extension in the series. We've got Flash and then Martian Manhunter coming up in a few weeks, but Absolute Flash from number 1 from Jeff Lemire and Nick Robles on art. To be honest, I haven't read a single Flash story. I've read Flashpoint, but I've never read, I didn't read Josh Williamson's run. I'm not reading the run right now. I didn't read any of Jeff John's run. I know the Cole's notes on the character. I'm not sure what your relationship with the Flash is. Before
Might
this
even
one.
be less than that because I didn't. To be honest, I didn't like. I know there's multiple Flash characters. Like there's Bart, Wally, and Barry. I think right, and then there's another one.
Yeah, Jay Carrick.
Well, yeah, I meant another younger one.
Oh, like Kid Flash, whoever the Kid Flash is, or is that Wally?
I don't know, but I know he runs, and he had an accident.
That's right. Lightning.
I don't know much about. I don't know much about the guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't like. I would be reading this just because it's absolute, but because
Mhm.
Lemire is involved, I'm definitely reading it. And I really love this issue. I love the family dynamic to it. I like the idea. Jeff Lemire put out a newsletter earlier late last week talking about writing the Flash and how in his life at the time when he was writing it, he was going through a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression in his life, and that's what he basically put um, into this character of Wally West. And you see that basically as he's talking, Wally West is talking to himself throughout the first issue about, how he's not good enough, how he's not fast enough, how he wasn't there. And the issue ends with something that, he's going to put, or it's put on his chest and his shoulders that he did something wrong. And stuff like that. So again, there's the Captain Cold, I think, is one of the characters that shows up
Yeah, Captain
in
Cold,
this.
Boomerang is in it.
Boomerang. Yeah.
I don't know who the other two were.
I agree. And I didn't know, like, they don't really explain too much of who the villains were. They don't explain too much of who Barry Allen was in this story, anything like that. So you mentioned it to me after I read it. We were talking about it. There seems to be a trend with these absolute books and how the storylines are being kind of drawn out over the first 6 issues.
Yeah, I guess. Well, and it kind of makes sense too because you want to draw new readers in. So I get that, but at the same time, I don't know if that can really continue. Like maybe you need to hit the ground running. No pun intended here. I mean that with a character, and we don't have to have all this like introductory phase because I think people just grasp it as you go on, as opposed to not spoon feeding it, but letting it kind of happen in a way that doesn't feel like they're telling you this is different. This is different. This is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And like, I do wonder how, and I think I said this before, but I do wonder what the longevity of these absolutes are and how it continues. And I'll be interested to see what the Martian Manhunter's like. Again, a character that I don't know much about. And the artist and the writer again aren't someone that I know much about. So, but yeah, just going back to the Flash, I love this first issue. Great introduction into the world of the Flash, and it'll be interesting. Like, I thought it was funny, or maybe, yeah, like I remember in the Ultimate Spider-Man #1 that Spider-Man didn't show up until the very last page.
Oh, really?
Of that first issue, and that was one of my gripes with that book.
Oh,
And,
the new one. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the new one. And then in Flash #1, he doesn't show up at all. Like there is no suit, there is no nothing like that. So I thought that was kind of cool, and maybe just for me, maybe it was the character, maybe just my expectations when I was reading the Ultimate Spider-Man #1. But something about this one was like I was okay with not seeing the Flash, but I was just so invested in this character Wally, based off the writing from Lemire and some of the art from Robles when he's talking with his dad, arguing with his dad about everything when he was talking to Barry. Just kind of the story of Wally was quite interesting, I thought, in just the 20-25 pages in this first issue.
Well, I also feel like maybe it was that way. Maybe this is what it was. We know Spider-Man.
Yeah,
we want to get to the Spider-Man stuff.
That's right.
Flash, we don't know. So I'm okay with the, this is new. This is kind of cool. This is different. It's different. And I think that might be one of the things that works in this book's favor because, I never really wanted to read Flash. I've read Flashpoint.
Exactly.
I've read a stray issue here or there. I didn't watch the TV series. I like the movie. But that's about it. So this, I'm actually fully on board reading. Part of it's because of Lemire, but the other thing is it's absolute, and I'm really just enjoying this universe.
Yeah, that's what, like, Martian Manhunter will be the first one that I honestly don't care about because I don't know the character and I don't know the creative team, but I'll read it just because it's absolute. And so far, everything with absolute has been great. And so yeah, just another great absolute issue. Happy again that I get some Lemire stuff in DC, which was announced like over a year ago that he was done with the big two. So I'm happy that he's back, and there was another book announced this week for DC with Jeff Lemire coming back to do a sequel to Robin and Batman that he did
I know that.
a few years ago with Dustin Nguyen. So last time they did it with kind of a differing kind of origin story or telling of young times with Batman and Robin with Dick, and this one will be a Jason Todd one. So I'm really excited for that.
When do we get the Damien one?
Yeah, I hope so.
I want to see the Damien one.
Yeah.
Eddie says that backdrop makes me feel like I'm watching a commercial for Apple original film. To me, it reminds me of Terminator when I look at it.
Yep.
But yeah, it does. Now that you mention it, does look like Apple.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I hear Apple needs some help. They lost billions of dollars or something. I hear
They could sponsor us. I mean, that would be fun.
Yeah,
I do use an iPhone.
Yeah, that's right.
So
yeah, so really enjoyed Flash, Absolute Flash #1. Looking forward to more of that. And you're right about when I was looking at other stuff to read, non DC, I was looking for indie stuff. But then I mentioned to you that the Deviant #9 came out. It feels like #8 came out in October of last year, and they took them basically 4, 5, 6 months to get to one extra issue, the last one. So it's been a weird release schedule for that one.
When I went to the comic book store the other day, I was like, "Oh, this is out. When was this out last?"
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't get it because I don't even remember it. I was like, well, that's done.
Yeah, I think we were talking about our best of last year. Was the Deviant was one of those.
Were we?
I think so. It's been a long haul for 9 issues of the Deviant.
Well, Tynan's busy writing everything under the sun, so
Yeah, that's right.
it's pretty much all good. I can't even complain.
Yeah, so it was a busy week for DC Comics for me, which was a lot of fun. And there's another busy one this week coming up too. We've got the first issue of Hush #2. We've got Absolute Wonder Woman #6. We've got Absolute Martian Manhunter #1. So there's a lot of good stuff for DC next week as well. So it's good times for comics.
It is, but I want to read some smaller stuff too because I really like having the balance of things to keep up with.
Oh yeah.
So like Aaron's reading through Silver Age Daredevil, and it's an insane ride. I kind of want to do this too. Maybe not with Daredevil, but I want to pick a random character and just start reading the old stuff and just enjoy that wacky energy. Because it's fun. Are you going to read these IDW Trek books?
Probably not. Not enough time in a day to read Star Trek in comic form.
Is that something more visual for you? Like you prefer a movie or a TV series?
It's the same thing with Star Wars. Like there's thousands of Star Wars comics that I've tried to read too, and it's just not the same.
That's how I feel too. Although I do like the Vader book. That was good. I feel that way about James Bond though. Like I don't really want to read James Bond comics. I've tried.
Well, and like they've had like Philip Kennedy Johnson, I think was on one of the last ones. It's just sometimes it doesn't work.
No, it's just not the medium that I want to enjoy that character in. Although with the time between Bond films, I may just start reading. We'll see.
You'll need something.
I might as well read all the Fleming novels, and I'll probably have time.
The Universal Monsters Mummy is next week as well.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, there's my indie title, sort of.
No, there's your one indie title to read. So
that one looks really
that
good.
One.
I'm hoping they release some kind of box set with them all. Maybe minus not Frankenstein. The Creature.
Black Lagoon.
Yeah, let's leave that one out. But I'll take Dracula, Frankenstein, and hopefully the Mummy.
I hope so.
Yeah, it looks really good. I'm excited for that one. Do we know if it's a sequel like the other one? Like Dracula and Frankenstein sort of were? Or Frankenstein wasn't a sequel. It was like a...
Frankenstein was like a retelling of the story with different versions of it. I think the Mummy is more like the Creature. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we'll see.
I'm going to hope for the best on that one.
Yeah, we'll hope for our best with that one.
Yeah.
So that's our reads this past few weeks. Lots to read, lots of... and I've been catching up on more Criminal as well, getting through that, so it's a lot of fun. How about some watches, Chris? What you been watching? I noticed you've been putting up some new... Yeah, you're putting up some new stuff on your Twitter every once in a while.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of stuff. How about old Foggy Chris? He can Right out of the gate. We'll talk Daredevil. That I'm excited for that one.
Oh, good.
Especially because Emmett is not as high on it, so
Mhm.
I don't know if Aaron is gonna be able to.
Yeah, Aaron, you might want to drop out, and I'll let you know when to skip it.
But I watched a lot of stuff. I am on a
Nice.
mission to finish Penny Dreadful. I think we've talked about this.
I know. I noticed that when the other day, it's like, oh, he's still going.
I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna finish season 2 tonight. I'm 2 episodes out from the finale,
Nice.
and it's funny because so I've explained this. I watched it as it was airing. I forgot a lot of it, but a lot of these bigger points, like as I'm seeing them again, like, oh, I remember this. This was awesome.
hmm
What I didn't remember were the wild naked witches running around.
How could you forget those?
I don't know, but they're really spooky looking, and it's amazing.
Hmm.
But it was funny because there's a line in one of the episodes where one of them is in like a human form, and they're trying to talk to Josh Hartnett's character, and he makes a comment about their shoes, saying those aren't sensible shoes. And then
Okay.
when she comes, like, attacks him later as the naked wild witch with no shoes, she like her gotcha was, "How are these for sensible shoes?"
Oh my god.
or something like this.
Jeez.
Fun camp, just fun camp.
Mhm.
But I've really been in. Penny Dreadful is a great show. And I forgot how entertaining it actually is.
Is it getting less dour on you? Are you
No,
becoming?
not at all.
Oh, okay.
It is very dour, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's very entertaining, and I'm going to finish season 2 tonight, and I would like to finish season 3 by next weekend.
Okay.
I've started to binge a little bit too because I want to see what happens.
Mhm.
And season 2 is long as 10 episodes, whereas season 1 was 8. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so we're getting there. So I watched that. I watched Daredevil. Which, do you want to do that now, or
Yeah, sure. I'm
Eric
ready.
said he is purchasing his ticket to Canada. You go first on that one.
So we're at 4 episodes now, right? The 4th one just came out last week.
I think it's
Or
4.
that's the one with Punisher in it. I think
Yeah.
everyone's talking about. Okay.
Yes.
So I missed it the first week because I was still finishing season 3. So
Mhm.
then I watched 1, 2, 3 basically kind of back to back or in one day. I will not be watching any more of Daredevil Born Again. I do not enjoy the show.
Oh,
I had to struggle to get through season 3 because like I started season 3 when it came out a long time ago, and I stopped watching it because I couldn't. I didn't find enjoyment in the show. So then I wanted to watch. I wanted to watch Born Again. So then I finished season 3, and I think I mentioned that I had kind of the same feelings, a
yeah.
little more positive than they were, but is like I knew that I wasn't going to enjoy the show after the first scene of the first episode, like or the opening of the first episode with our boy old Foggy Nelson.
I'm so confused right now.
Yeah, I knew that I wasn't going to enjoy because of Foggy Nelson, and it's because I felt that in season 3 and even in season 2 of Daredevil that the show got away from what I enjoyed so much in season 1, which was its side characters, which was its Foggy, which was its Karen, which was its
Ben
what's his
Urich.
name? Yeah, Ben Urich, Wesley, the character.
I do miss Wesley.
Even the 2 Russians, Vladimir and his brother, and the little group of the kind of the higher up criminals that are working
Like
with
the
Fisk.
owl and stuff.
Yeah, the little old Asian lady and the hotshot guy. All of those people. I missed all of the side characters of the show. And after season 1, when more than half of those characters were gone, and we get into season 2, which I didn't like, and then even season 3, where I didn't like the Poindexter character as much, and I felt like that Karen and Foggy weren't as upfront with Matt as much. And then obviously the opening of season of Born Again, where Foggy Nelson is lost to us, I suppose.
Is
And
he?
then yeah, so and then with him and Karen, and Matt's got a new firm, and he's got a new person and new side characters that I do not enjoy. And you mentioned this before, how it's so much Wilson Fisk.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much Wilson Fisk for me. It's too much of a 50-50 almost, or even it feels like there's more because Matt doesn't wear his suit for many episodes after that opening scene. So there's a couple of differing factors in there. It's just I do not enjoy, and like the White Tiger episode with the courtroom drama aspect of it. I didn't enjoy that episode. I didn't enjoy the courtroom drama of it. I didn't enjoy the ending of it. I do not enjoy the show. So it's just not for me. It's just not something that I will continue to go back to. There you go.
Well, I liked the last episode.
The one with Punisher?
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah. Everyone says that one's like really good, obviously. John Bernthal.
Well,
like,
I
good,
think,
so.
yeah, but I get what you're saying though. There's the side characters are not the same level. There's no Sharon Stone here. They're not on the same level, so I do get that. My big thing with it so far, this is the lack of Daredevil. It's giving me like Moon Knight vibes, and I'm having flashbacks.
PTSD.
Yeah. And also, I don't know how John Bernthal does it. And I like him; he's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how he does this. He manages to look confused in every single scene he appears in as Frank Castle, and that's in the old series and this new one. I don't know how he does this, but he constantly just looks like he doesn't know where he is, and he speaks that way. Unless he's like murdering somebody or fighting, there's nobody home.
Sure.
It's very weird to me, but his scene is fantastic in that episode.
Mm-hmm.
I would say we're spoiling it, but to be fair, Disney put out a poster of it, as the episode aired. But what bugged me was on Disney Plus, the thumbnail, or not thumbnail. You know how when you turn on Disney Plus, it has like the images on top of like what you could watch right now. It was the Punisher and Matt.
Face to face or whatever.
Yeah, it was that scene. I was like, oh, well, thanks, Mickey. Mouse and his bullshit. So, but yeah, I like the episode, but I need to see him in the suit.
Yeah.
I think we've had Law and Order Hell's Kitchen for 4 or 5 episodes. I get it. It's cool. I like it. I want to see some Daredevil. Also, I do agree. I am very tired of Wilson Fisk in therapy. I don't need it.
Yep.
It's actually making me dislike Kingpin as a whole at this point.
Yes.
And it's funny because I think before this, I would have said he's one of the better MCU villains. But and it's not even that they changed him because I don't think they have. It's just you're seeing more of him, so of course you're going to get more of him. More of that. It's kind of like Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight as the Joker cuts through the film. We never get to see him. We never see him just sitting on the couch watching I Love Lucy reruns.
Right.
With half of his makeup on while he's eating a bucket of chicken or something.
Sure.
That's what they're giving us with Kingpin.
Yep.
And I don't want that. So
it's so funny. It's funny about the suit. Aaron said it's coming, but like if you compare it to season 3, like if you watch them right after another, it's like, man, we're going on a long time here of no suit. Like he didn't have the suit in season 3 for a very long time. Like I get it, but like these characters need to be the characters for me personally, like who's someone who's not the biggest Marvel fan, who's not all about Daredevil. Like then you mentioned this about the Ultimate Spider-Man and the Ultimate Flash or Absolute Flash. Like I like Spider-Man. I want to see Spider-Man. I don't know who the Flash is. So maybe it was a little bit different, but I feel like I want Daredevil in the suit. And like that opening scene with the fight scene, like I didn't enjoy the fight scene overall. I thought it was a little bit like cheesy and hammy and weird CGI and weird cuts in certain things, but like he was in the suit and he looked great in the suit.
He did.
and like give me Daredevil in the suit. We've spent 3 seasons at this point to see him in the suit, and like I get the terrible thing that happened,
Daredevil.
but like yeah. So and I don't think we needed the terrible thing to happen either. But that's yeah.
I don't think the terrible thing really happened.
Okay, well you can let me know about that.
I will.
And yeah, and maybe I'll maybe in a few years I'll come back around and watch.
You don't have to. If it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea.
Yeah, just it's just not. It's just I'm not digging it and not finding the enjoyment in it because I just love season 1 so much.
Mhm.
Like I don't know why and
Awesome.
like it's weird because he didn't have the suit much in that season either until 3/4
No, but
of
I
the way
feel like
through.
he was
But
still doing more Daredevil stuff. Aaron says, honestly, it's
maybe.
kind of the same in the comics. He's not always in the suit, and that could be it. I haven't read a lot of Daredevil.
No,
I've read the Frank Miller Daredevil, so that's kind of what I'm used to. But
right.
I do want to start the Zdarsky Daredevil. Actually, that's what I might do this week instead of maybe reading
Hmm.
wacky Silver Age comics.
Mhm.
Maybe that's a better use of my time, but we'll
Sure.
see.
I hear the Bendis one is quite good too.
And I like Bendis
Daredevil.
so I might check that out. I don't want to be the in the comics guy. I think I am. I think everybody is the in the comics guy at some point or another.
You have to be.
Yeah,
Try not to be.
in
but-
the books guy, in the original.
Yeah.
The original is black and white. This should be too.
Yeah.
Um,
That's right.
Eric says no. I want to see the Joker eating a bucket of chicken, watching TV. We kind of get that in the Bermejo Joker book, if I remember correctly.
He does that kind of it. He's in Batman '89 too, cutting his pictures, watching TV.
Oh yeah, okay. We can watch '89. Yeah, there's no chicken involved, but
Yeah, he's not eating on a drumstick or anything, but
I imagine he eats it like Gizmo. That's just my thought process.
yeah.
Emmett, it's apparently you and Eric can still be friends. So
Well, that's okay. I'm happy. I'm happy about that. Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
He's Santa
Oh,
Claus.
yeah.
Don't you remember when he's dressed up as Santa?
I forgot. Yeah. We know a few Santas actually.
Yes, that's right.
I'm not one of them.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't have time for that. Well, anyway,
Mm-hmm.
did you watch any other TV shows, or are we just going into movies?
I just watched a whole bunch of Reacher, season 3 of Reacher. I didn't know that it was weekly, so
Yeah.
I watched it the other day, and I just put it on. I think I watched 4 episodes in one night. I went back and watched 3 the next night, and then I go back to watch more, and I put on 1 episode, and then it ends, and it says the next episode's not out until this week. I'm like, oh, that sucks. Anyways, I love the show. It's a lot. Season 3 is much better than season 2, which I did not enjoy. But I love Alan Ritchson. I love this character of Jack Reacher. I love how violent it is. I love how funny it is. Great show. Just an all around good show. And Amazon's really got this thing going with book characters, which are quite good. I watched a little while ago. Yeah, I watched the other a couple of weeks ago an Alex Cross series with what's his name who plays Hawkman in Black Adam.
You know what? I think they need to call him Hawk Guy from now on.
What's his name? Hawkman.
Adonis Hodge. Hawkman. Yeah.
Hawkman? Yeah.
Hawkman.
Yeah, Aldous Hodge. He plays Alex Cross. That's another big book series, and obviously the Bosch Books series was on Amazon as well. And they're going to have Criminal, it's another kind of book. So yeah, Amazon's got good
Bond.
literature. Book. That's right. Good literature, TV shows and movies. So yeah, Reacher's a lot of fun. Really dig that show.
Is Teresa a Reacher thing?
I have to hear the name Teresa one more time.
Who's Teresa?
No. Teresa.
Is that maybe something else? I don't know.
Teresa Daniel? Oh yeah.
It's a Reacher thing?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I've only seen
they're looking for this girl, or he's not looking for her, but the people he's working for are looking for this girl who's kidnapped. That's the whole idea of this season, Aaron. So it's tough not to hear about it.
I don't know.
Teresa Daniel, I get you.
I just see trailers, and I keep thinking that he wants to be a Batman thing.
I want him to be Batman. I think he'd be a great Batman.
If he gets it, he gets it. That's kind of where I'm at. I don't see him getting it though.
Yeah,
The guys who
that's-
always throw their name in the hats don't get it.
never get it. They never get
Like,
it.
if you want the role, don't say anything. Just be
Yeah,
quiet.
that's right. Just get your agent to reach out to the studio.
Exactly. That's why we're going to end up with Rick Moranis as Batman.
I'll dig it. Yeah, that's the only other TV show that I've been watching this week.
Okay. I watched some movies.
Mhm.
I don't think we talked about Mickey 17, did we?
We didn't. Is it out already for me to watch? Or is it
Tuesday.
coming up? Yeah, I'm gonna watch it this week. Looking forward to that.
Okay, cool. Maybe we'll hold that for next week then.
Okay.
Yeah. I watched Black Bag. I was really excited for Black Bag. It's a Steven Soderbergh like spy movie.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really good though. Michael Fassbender's in it, who I love, of course.
Mm-hmm.
He does really well in it. He's kind of like this really calculated spy character, but it's not like James Bond spies or even Mission Impossible spies. They're much more like quiet spies. They don't do much, or whatever they do, we don't know. It's all behind the scenes stuff.
Behind the scenes, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all like behind the scenes kind of stuff. Pierce Brosnan is also in it, and he is
Oh.
very old. He's very old. But it was cool to see him. I think they made him look older because I know he had the picture of him with the Aston Martin or something recently. I was like, oh, he doesn't look that way in Black Bag.
Right.
Did they make you older, sir? But the movie's very entertaining. It's only an hour and a half, which is kind of mind blowing in today's theatrical world.
Yeah.
Most movies are like a minimum of 210, 220 for no reason a lot of the time. I can't really explain what it's about because it's basically a spoiler, but essentially there's a mole. They think it's his wife. You got to watch and see.
Yeah. Do that with what you will.
Do that what you will. It's also very stylish. I don't think I've called many films stylish before.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's kind of like a serious Ocean's 11 in a way, which works for me. I watched that. I watched Borderline. This was something I was also excited for. It has Samara Weaving in it and Ray Nicholson, who is apparently in everything now.
Ray Nicholson.
Yeah, Jack's kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, he's Jack Nicholson's son.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, there's a similarity there too.
Oh, really?
They got they have a
The
similar
similarity? Or
like the creepy look. They seem to pull it off really well, which makes you wonder about them.
That's right.
I didn't love Borderline. I think it is what it is. Samara Weaving's cool in it. He's great. Let's call it a day. Novocaine, which he's also in, is the other movie I watched.
He's in that too?
Yeah, he's in that too.
Oh.
And he's like a completely different kind of character in that.
What the hell?
Yeah, I didn't even realize he was in it as I was watching. I was like, is that him? Oh, that's him. It took me a while. Novocaine, though, is really fun. I think you'll enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, the guy who can't feel pain.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got some laughs. There's some rom-com elements, which always work for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think you like Jack Quaid more than I do.
Yes.
I think he's fine.
Mm.
It has, is it Amber Midthunder? Right now, I can't remember her name. From Prey. And she's been in other stuff.
Oh, yeah? Oh, cool.
Yeah, Amber Midthunder. Yeah, whenever Marvel is ready for Laura Kinney Wolverine, she's right there. So, yeah, I really enjoyed Novocaine. And then I finished off my week by watching Odessa. And
I told you.
yeah, I think the trailer should have told me on that one. But I thought, hey, this will be like a rock opera, like Repo or something. Have you seen Repo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Repo's a good time. This is not. I'll watch Repo again.
Yeah, that's right.
This is 2 hours. I think Repo's 80 minutes. Yeah, I didn't like it. It's okay though.
The marketing is everywhere. Like every YouTube video I watch is that Odessa's on there all the time. They're really pushing hard for it.
They can keep pushing. It tries to get by on its visuals and its concept, but like I tweeted, the concept gets lost in this love story that doesn't really work. And you're ignoring all the cool stuff in in the story, you sacrificed it to tell this story. It's like, why?
Mhm.
Like, it's not a spoiler, but there's a special guitar in the movie. You never
Yeah.
even understand what the guitar is for because it's used for the love part. I was like, what? I don't
Mhm.
know. It's just a weird movie. Also, I didn't realize the villain is Frank from not The Walking Dead, The Last of Us. Something
Oh
Murray.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I didn't realize that was him because he's wildly different.
yeah. He's not a lovable gay man.
No, he's not.
Just, jeez.
Like, you kind of want him to, find his end.
Uh,
And I would have fought for Frank.
yes, you would have.
I would have saved Frank. I'll still save Frank.
hmm
But yeah, those are my watches.
Nice. Couple of new ones in there.
A couple of good things, a couple of crap things.
Yeah, Novocaine. I'm interested in. What's the action like? Are we talking John Wick style? Is that what it's
Kind of,
like?
yeah. It's kind of like comedic John Wick, but it's really violent. Like, there's a point where it's in the trailers where he gets shards of glass in his fists and fights with
hmm
them.
Nice.
So it's like a blend of comedy action, but it works really well, I think.
Yeah, that's something I'm interested in for sure. I'll be watching that one when it hits the digitals.
And it's gory, unexpectedly.
Like more than the Wick stuff, you think?
Yeah, a lot more than because Wick I don't think
Oh,
is
nice.
gory. Wick is violent, but it's not like gore.
Right.
Whereas there's a couple things he does in the Novocaine, the character does, where I actually cringe. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, it's
Mm.
gross.
Hard R.
It is a hard R, yeah.
Nice.
Yep. So those were my watches.
Nice.
Good mix of crap.
That's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
I didn't watch anything new this week. I only watched 2 movies. I watched The French Dispatch, the Wes Anderson movie from a few years ago, with the general cast of characters. This one's about journalism. It's about a what do you call it, a newspaper or a magazine, and each story that goes inside the magazine, you see it in visual. It's like an anthology kind of deal.
I didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah, so like there's a story about a painter who's a prisoner, and it's Benicio del Toro, and he paints a prison guard who's Leia Sadu, and their kind of love story. And then there's another story with Timothy Chalamet, and he plays chess, and there's a
Was that your
war.
favorite?
That's when I really tuned off.
Oh, okay.
Because I like this movie and this character and this Timothy Chalamet is the one I just like wholeheartedly. Like, give me the Paul Atreides one. I like that acting from Timmy, but this one's just not it. So I did not enjoy The French Dispatch. It's the one of the 2 Wes Anderson movies I haven't seen, which is French Dispatch, and I haven't seen Asteroid City, which is the newest one. So I'm going to be watching that one this week. And then I watched Minority Report, which I love. That movie's so good. And it made me wonder about the Tom Cruise and Steven Spielberg. I hope they have a connection again at some point. Because I like War of the Worlds. I think it's a very good time. A lot of people don't. But I love Minority Report. It's one of my favorite sci-fi movies. And I hope that we get Tom Cruise is kind of doing the drama thing again. He's doing that movie now.
Yeah, I think he's done jumping off buildings and
I hope so, because I think he's got the action skills as well. But I hope he comes back around on Steven Spielberg. I hope they work together again, because that was a fun couple of year period where they did Minority Report and War of the Worlds.
I have not seen Minority Report since it hit home video. I think I've only ever watched it once, and I don't think I liked it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I don't remember. It's been such a long time. I think I like parts of it. Of course, I like Tom Cruise in it because he's just one of my favorites anyway. I think Colin Farrell, of course, stood out to me. Again, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But that's something I'd like to rewatch, I think.
Yeah, it's I find it has great rewatchability. Like, I've watched it tons of times. I think I have it on DVD, but yeah, I have a great time with that one. I like nobody does it like Steven Spielberg with visuals. I like this kind of that period of his life, in where other movies kind of all look the same. Same kind of thing. So I had a great time with Minority Report as always. But I've been playing a lot of video games lately. I got Death Stranding on my PS5 a few weeks ago after the trailer for the second one had just come out, which kind of set the video game industry ablaze. And I didn't get Death Stranding on release because the reviews weren't the greatest for it. They were kind of so-so. But I'm a huge Hideo Kojima fan, huge Metal Gear Solid fan, so kind of just kept it in the back of my mind. And it was $25, I think. I got it on the PS5 store, so I've been playing a ton of that. It's a slow mover, man.
That's what I heard.
It's a slow mover. You're basically a delivery man, going from one area to another area with your back filled with 70, 100 pounds of stuff, and you have to walk, and you have to use your two controllers, and if you start tipping to the left because your weight is not distributed right, you click on the right.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's like a walking simulator.
Oh no.
So it's slow. It's like you just deliver things for the first, I think I'm on hour 15 now. At least the first 7 hours of the game, you're delivering things from one place to another. So it's very slow. And everything that I've read, there's like 15 chapters in the story. I just ended chapter 3. The first 3 chapters are the slowest and the hardest to get through.
You say you're 15 hours in, but
because you can be walking and then there's something over there, and you go for a walk over there and throw that in your back, and then you go walking and then there's somebody over there, and then there's all of a sudden the antagonists show up and you have to not breathe for a little while because they can see you if you breathe, and then other people show up and you have to beat them off with a laser gun or they're going to steal your stuff.
No,
it's definitely a chore the first little while, but the visuals are very good. The story is quite interesting. Like you're trying to reconnect America. Like you're going to one place and you're setting up like communication towers to bring America back online, as it were. And everything that I saw in the trailers was interesting. Everything I'm seeing in the trailers for the second one is very interesting. So I just want to get to I know I'm going to get there. You just had to get there. And like the 7 hours are rough. I'm on 15. So, there's another 7.5 hours that have been very good so far. Just a little bit of a struggle, and that's everything that I read and I kind of expected, but I didn't expect walking simulator. I didn't expect
that's what I'd heard it was, but I didn't know you were actually walking. You know what I mean?
You can get a bike, but it's tough because the terrain is really rough. Like you have to go up a rock, so you throw up a ladder, and then if you're coming down, you put down a rope, and you just go up and down the rope 6 times, and
Eric says walk sims aren't too bad depending on the gameplay and immersion. I didn't know what walk sims are a genre.
I didn't know that was a genre either. I thought this was the first of.
I might have to look that up. Like, what other ones are there? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And I'd never played one if there's a list of them. So it's very interesting, plotting your route about which way you should go and, trying to find the easiest route to go. So, because you got to deliver some things in time, and you're carrying around this little baby unit on your.
I know this. I know. Yeah, I've read the thing about that.
Yeah, so you got to keep that thing happy, and it gets scared and all that kind of stuff. But like the action scenes are very tense. Like it's very, very involved when you're trying to sneak around, and you literally hold the button so you can not breathe, and then you have to breathe, and then so it's quite the experience, and not one that I'd ever played before. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna experience it through you then, because I don't think I
there's that's totally fair.
I'm more with.
I won't play the second one for a few years either until it becomes much lower in price, because I'm not going to spend $100 on day one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm more with Aaron. Currently playing PS2 Punisher. That sounds like a good game.
Yeah, that's right. Give me the goods.
Firewatch is a good game. Okay, I didn't know that's what Firewatch was. I've heard of that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. I didn't know that's what it was. Interesting.
Yeah, that's all I've been. Oh, you're gone. There you go again. That's all I've been doing. Video games and Reacher And I've been looking at Anora every time I go to watch Reacher because it's right there on Amazon Prime for me. Just every time I get to it, it's a little late at night. I don't know if I have 2.5 hours, but I'm going to get to that as well very soon. Oh, you can't hear you.
Are we back?
There you go.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, all good.
Oh, I think I tried to use the camera for audio. I don't know why it did.
You're good.
Horseshit. You should watch it. It doesn't feel like 2 hours.
I'm going to. I'm going to get there. It doesn't feel like 2.5?
No.
No, okay.
It's also an Oscar-winning film. I don't know if you know.
Yeah. Multiple.
Best Actress, Best Picture, Soul of the Year.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm probably going to get to it this week. I think Cookie, if you're still here, I think the last episode of season 1 of The Pit was this week. My wife and I haven't watched it yet because if I am right and it is the last, I want to kind of delay it so much because I know this last episode's going to be a real gut punch. And then after that, yeah, we'll see what happens.
You want to savor the sadness?
Savor the sadness and delay the sadness, really.
Savor the delayed sadness.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, because then I want to watch The White Lotus, which is cooking along, but then Nora and then Mickey 17 will be this week. So yeah, maybe I can watch those two. Oh, 3 more. Oh my God. I can't. Oh my God. Oh yeah, I guess they're 15 episodes, and the last one I watched was hour 12.
The shift isn't over.
Yeah, the shift not over. Son of a bitch.
That could be a horror movie.
Yeah.
The shift isn't over.
Just attacking a hospital room.
Yeah. It's like zombies in the hospital and you're trapped with them.
Now you're talking.
Or like any kind of infectious disease thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cholera.
Let's bring it back.
Yeah. I've been watching Penny Dreadful again. So.
Yeah. The plague.
Penny Dreadful and Nosferatu have basically been on TV for me for the last 2 months. So. Cholera and the plague. Let's bring them back.
Cholera plague 2025.
That's what we're doing on TV.
Yeah, all right, Chris. That's all I got for this week. Lots of reads, a little bit of watches. So yeah,
good stuff.
Nice. All right, let's get on out of here then. Where can people find you?
The never-ending shift. I love that night shift surgeon. She was such a light in a dark episode. Do you like that surgeon as well?
I don't know if I haven't got to night shift because
okay.
I haven't started the last episode yet. I don't. Oh yeah, I know. I remember the one guy who was making jokes all the time. Oh, what was it? I can't remember now. It doesn't matter.
The joke.
I don't know if I've seen that one yet, Cookie.
I wanted to play the Last of Us trailer for the one for the podcast.
Yeah, cool.
I don't know how to do that, so bear with me for a second, everybody.
Oh yeah, I'll talk to it. Yeah, so we've got. I guess I can. Oh, there we are in the corner. That's good.
What does it look like right now?
Geeks.
Oh, it's in the corner.
Yeah, I don't know. Last of the Geeks going to be coming up soon, guys. Where Chris, I, and our friend Nico from V39 will be covering season 3 of The Last of Us on HBO, and Chris kind of set us up with a nice little intro, a nice video song. Let's see what we got, Chris.
As soon as it's done processing, we sure will.
Okay, we're still processing. April 13th. Yeah, April 13th is the first episode.
Why don't you list the cast for us? Oh, here we go.
Yeah, again, April 13th is the first episode. Is that the same music from last time? You're muted again.
Yep. That is the same music. I didn't want to change the music.
Okay.
Anyway, everybody can find me on Twitter at thatchris70. I do a bunch of different stuff and bullshit about a few different things. Follow me there. I'd love it if you'd follow this show at G of the Geeks. Emmett is better with the rest of the plugs, so he will take over.
You can follow me on everywhere at Emmet Davis 7. Gathering of the Geeks is available wherever you get your podcasts. And we're all over YouTube. All you have to do is search for Gathering of the Geeks, and you will find us right there. Cookie, Phil, Eric, Aaron, Zeddy, I appreciate you for checking us out on this fine Sunday evening. In saying all that, for Chris and I'm Emmet, and we gather on Sundays.
End of session.
Thank you for joining us. It's been a real grand time. Have a good night. We'll see you next Sunday. Remember, we support you as long as you aren't doing heroin. Please don't do that.